Well, just taking advantage of a kind of neat photo op up here. I've got jobs up in the mountains sometimes, and my work truck is in the shop today getting a radiator put in. And the couple jobs I had to do, I got done early. So I figured, well, why not take some good pictures in the daylight up here. And my car's not in show quality condition. Definitely needs a little bit of paint work here and there, from my own mistakes, because I think, as I've said in my videos before, I drive a little crazy. Hence my little buddy here, he used to have a bottom jaw before I bottomed out this car a couple times too hard, and so he's gonna have to go to the dentist half as much, because he's only got about 50% of his teeth left. So, but he still tests positive for teeth whenever he goes in for a IQ test. So we're both good on that account. But I was just watching Notorious Crown Vic PI, or CVPI, and he doesn't have a Crown Vic anymore. Oh my God! He should just get blasted off of YouTube. Well, I have a couple Crown Vics he can borrow if he ever needs them for videos, but trying to make a shout out for a couple guys that I've subbed to, like Blue GT, I think. I'm bad at remembering stuff when I'm put on the spot, and I put myself on the spot, so how sad is that? I've also subbed a Top Cop Car and Cletus McFarlane and Officer 401, and a lot of goofy, funny channels that don't have anything to do with the police cars and police interceptors. There's 3 or 4 other channels I've subbed to. I'm gonna actually have to write them down. Maybe I'll put a Sharpie list on one of the fenders of my car whenever I'm just about ready to get it painted, as I'm gonna try and get it painted again, performance white. I put this car up for sale for a while just because I had way too many cars, and I still have way too many cars, but I've sold half of them. And so gonna be probably keeping this car. Put a lot of extra stuff into it to sell it, and it seems like it's a 50-50 chance of getting rid of a car when I put a whole bunch of time and money into it. Either I really, really like the car and I'm really happy with what I did, and then I don't want to sell it, and then somebody says, hey, is your car for sale? And then 30 or 40 minutes later, I'm signing the pink slip and saying goodbye to one of my favorites. Or I put a bunch of money and time into it and put it up on the market, and then nobody bites. And that sometimes bites because I did want to get rid of the car, or needed to get rid of the car, or just wanted to lighten the load on my pasture of PIs, to say the least, because I have 5 police cars now. 3 Tauruses, and 2 Crown Vics. And so this one here I've always liked, and it's got more miles on it than I feel comfortable selling. Now, I'm not covering my license plates, but I probably should, because one of the things that Notorious brought up was that, yeah, you can probably get a lot of information from somebody's license plate. In the reverse order, if you think about it, though, is if your license plate and your car is out there documented as having that license plate on that car, and you do something dumb in that car, like some donuts in the Walmart parking lot, or no, let's say the Tasty Freeze parking lot in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I did the donuts in this car. That's right near Pennsyltucky, where they have the ominous and rare jackalopes. But, you know, that's one of the main things that I worry about. But I don't really drive these cars that stupid. I do drive them fast, and I don't know, I have fun. I drive them within their limits, because they're a big 4,000-pound sports car, basically. And when I say sports car, I say loosely in the performance department. I mean, I've got ultra high performance tires on it. I've got some suspension mods, a couple of motor and exhaust things. But I don't do stupid stuff like cut people off and tailgate and all that stuff, because I actually feel like I've got kind of a little bit of a responsibility to maintain a realistic point of view when I'm driving something that looks like it belongs to an official or department. I don't want to be a cop. I don't want to look like a cop. I've never wanted to be a cop. I couldn't handle having that responsibility of taking somebody's life or, not giving my life is not my concern as much. It's obviously it's a concern, but if it's honorable and the circumstances calls for it, if it was one of me opposed to one or two or three other people, I wouldn't hesitate if the situation arose that demanded that. But that's not my job, and that's not what I do for my job. And I don't want to carry a gun and take the responsibility of maybe shooting someone or killing someone, even if it's moral and just. I'd rather not be in that situation. It's going to happen to a lot of people one way or the other, whether you're an officer of the law, whether you're just a window washer, whether you're some homeless guy that sees some lady being held at gunpoint. I just saw a video about that, and the guy got shot, maybe by the police by accident, maybe by the perpetrator that was had taken hostage. But long story short, with me blabbing, because I'm a blabber, so I'm warning you ahead of time. When you have a situation where your impression on people might be mistaken for some type of authority or somebody who has a higher responsibility in their line of work than you really don't want to draw too much attention to yourself, because that's going to negatively impact the person that someone might believe that you are, even if you're not trying. I'm not going to throw a bunch of trash out of the window while I'm driving down the road. I wouldn't do that anyways. I won't even buy a case of beer or alcohol on a regular basis if I'm driving one of these cars, because I do have a business that I wear clothing that is more durable clothing. It happens to look like BDUs. It's just stuff that I buy that's stronger and heavier duty. The clothing I buy is almost like these cars I buy. I get these industrial grade Crown Victorias and Tauruses, and because I get a good deal on them, and I can use them more often in unfavorable environments than your average everyday pair of pants. You buy a pair of Dickies if you're going to be working around and on hard surfaces, getting abrasions on fabric. You don't want to wear a nice pair of pants and a clean button-up shirt if you do oil changes and masonry work. It's just the way it works. So my thing is I try my best to not do stupid things, so someone, if they saw my car later on, because the police and all the other agencies that have a smartphone or a computer, these are all people. They want some entertainment when they're bored. They're not watching TV, they're watching YouTube, watching something on the internet. Well, how many times have you heard on the internet or read about someone doing like, 150 miles an hour down a stretch of roadway just to test out their car, videoing it, putting it on YouTube, posting it to show it off, and then you find out later they actually get their license taken away and the car impounded because they've just given completely, entirely documented proof of their stupidity, and right there's the evidence. What do you need any more than that? That's like before you rob the bank, you hand out a bunch of family photos with you and your buddies or you and your family out shooting and wearing the same clothes that you would be wearing to rob the bank. So there is those concerns, and I do think about it. So I just wanted to do about a 10-minute video here, just like I said, kind of taking advantage of some weather and the nice location here to take a video of the car. I wish I had one of my nicer cars up here, but I've got this car full of tools for work, and it's definitely my go-to backup plan when the work truck's getting worked on. So yeah, I got a whole ton of work stuff in here that is definitely not in any way what a police car would normally have in it. So just thought I'd concur with one of the channels that I've subscribed to's curator. I understand where that whole concern about privacy, there's a lot of people who got way too much time on their hands, and keyboard warriors that will find a way at one point or another to be a troll, even in the real world in reality, from the comfort of their own sweatpants, flip-flops, and stained t-shirt. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on back into town, go home, and see what other trouble I can get into. And I sure am glad I don't have a license plate on the back of my shirt, because it doesn't take 4 wheels, a V8, dual exhaust, and a set of decent tires for me to get in trouble and sideways. So thanks for watching.